If you're on the cusp of retirement, we know that you have a lot of questions. That's because we've met with a lot of clients that are always wondering how they compare to other people facing these retirement decisions, retirement questions. And so today we're talking through 3 retirement trends that you should know about that may impact how and when you retire. Because the reality is not everybody has that Tom Brady moment where they could come back a couple months later and do the same thing at the same level that they had been doing before, same income level. So if this is your first time watching one of our videos, I'm Chad Smith and I have Allison Berger here. And we created this channel to help you enhance your today and enrich your tomorrow around retirement decisions and how to have peace of mind going through that. But before we jump in, we'll have a link to a pre-retirement checklist we put together below that you can download and run through to see if you've thought through all of these ideas and put together the documents you need so that you can run through the analysis that can give you the peace of mind to retire the way you want to. So let's dive in here. And Allison, why don't you kick us off with that first one that we're talking through? People are living longer, right?
That's right. Life expectancy probabilities are increasing, particularly for non-smoker affluent couples. So this is what we see. We can see if both of you live to age 65, there's almost a 50% chance that one member of a couple will live to age 95 after that. So we're seeing these increasing life expectancies, not only due to medical advances. And I think one of my favorite stories around this was in the Winter Olympics this year, where we saw Lindsay Jacobellis and Nick Baumgardner win the gold medal for the USA. And the commentators were just noting how age is not what it used to be. We know so much more today about fitness, nutrition, physical therapy, injury prevention, and recovery, that this is allowing not only elite athletes to continue competing, but it's allowing all of us to continue living well longer than our parents did or than we may have ever thought possible. So it's really important from a financial planning perspective to make sure you're planning for a longer lifetime.
Yeah, it helps they have the cool factor too, because they're snowboarders. Kind of makes them feel a little younger.
Yes, very, very cool, very uplifting story. I think there's definitely different sports there, but you mentioned Tom Brady. I mean, that's a contact sport. He keeps hanging on there. So we see that age is not what it used to be, particularly if you're willing to put in the effort.
At the top of his game for sure. And then that brings up this question here in this category. Are you prepared for a 35-year retirement? It's a long time to where you're going to get to enjoy different ideas, hopefully, right? As long as health allows for that. So are you ready for that third act? We talk about that deeper in our podcast that you can check out in the description below. So let's move on to our second trend here that we're seeing, and that's that people are working longer because they have a lot of this time now, right?
Yes, individuals are working longer. The rates of retirees staying in the workforce past age 65 has been increasing since the year 2000. They're also changing the way that they spend their time. So the working hours may be declining. What the JP Morgan study found is that individuals who push, what they call it pushes, tend to age very well. And they define this as one, having a sense of purpose, using their time to help others go to events and participate in activities, socialize with friends and family and spend time with others, practices healthy behaviors, experience gratitude, and focus on their strengths and abilities. So individuals who are able to use that PUSHES acronym tend to have good retirements.
Love it. Yes, that's a very important aspect of how you think through spending that time in retirement. And that's going to help you, of course, feel more confident and pursue more of that curiosity that can, one of our financial advisor friends, Mitch Anthony, he calls it the fountain of youth. So if you can have that curiosity there, that's a good idea to keep you going in the right direction. And then let's talk about the other changes that we're seeing. The third retirement trend is the changes in spending. And this is a really interesting graph of the different areas.
Yes, and we've talked quite a bit about the retirement smile spending pattern, that spending tends to either stay the same or even potentially increase in those early retirement years as you're healthy and you're traveling and maybe doing some things or taking care of projects that you didn't have time to do while you were working. What we see in those retirement years is that housing remains the biggest spending component for most households. And that seems a curious one because you would think maybe a lot of retirees have their mortgage paid off. Why are they still spending the bulk of their money on housing? And really what we see there is it's not only the mortgage payment, although a lot of retirees are maintaining a mortgage into retirement, particularly with low interest rates, that can be a lot more attractive. Also, money spent on real estate taxes, insurance, home maintenance. maintaining some of these older homes that maybe they've lived in for a long time is still quite costly. We see some of those numbers also come from spending on care or services to help you age in place. So that remains the biggest component. All other components tend to decline in retirement, except for charitable donations and healthcare. Those two continue to increase throughout the length of retirees' lifetimes.
Yes. So 3 trends here that can help you get in that mindset when you're thinking through your retirement planning to better prepare for that range of outcomes, right? Because things can be a little different than you might expect. And that's where planning comes in, and that value of planning and helping you diversify across a lot of different areas in your time, your money, and your tax strategies. We help people do that. Hundreds and hundreds of people we've helped go through retirement scenarios here at Financial Symmetry. We also have a lot of different videos and podcasts week to week. So we go deeper in our podcast episodes, but this is just a short snippet to give you an idea of the ways we are thinking and the way we can help people. So if you don't want to miss the next episode, you can subscribe, and look forward to seeing you again in 2 weeks.